the debug mode, you can see the exception. Leave about this one. My intention is the exception. See, it is throwing like this. Some code is throwing like this. Is it a correct way to show the exception to the user? No. If you're showing this one, user can't able to understand. Not only the user, admin person, whoever is using your website, they can't able to understand until they are the developer. So nobody will not a developer. Right? So let me break down this one. So how to fix this issue? So now we need to build a system called exception middleware. Before that exception middleware, I'm having a question. What is a middleware?
Middleware is a HTTP request response pipeline. It's a component used to execute HTTP request and responses.
So middleware is a component. Middleware is software component in the HTTP request pipeline that process the request and response. So middleware, what the middleware can do, it is going to be take a incoming request. Sir, how it is going to be take? You don't worry. .NET 4 will take it. First, the middleware will be fire. So what it is having, it will do like a pre-processing. It will do
It's a
like a
middleware is we can say pre-processing logic.
pre-processing. I will explain. So
Before it
pre-processing,
is the controller.
post
Yeah.
processing,
Logic.
processing, and the post-processing. Correct. That is about normal definition. What else you need to be given? Okay, you have given the clear definition. That is fine. Next, you need to be explained. Yeah, go ahead, Chandra. You're explaining something.
No, nothing.
Correct.
Yes,
No,
before earlier,
you have
right? Earlier,
answered well. You have answered well.
yeah.
My question is, in the interview, they will ask like, is it only middleware doing pre-processing, post-processing? Let me tell you. Let me break down the interviewer point of view. In general, we are giving the answer that is a correct. For example, if you ask the same answer to a Pavan, Tarun, or Apurva, they are going to be give the same answer. Now the question is, whom I need to be selected? Our target is to get into the interview, right? Get like a into 5x package or 4x package or 6x package. So now you need to add the some wow factor to the interview question. So if you're asking the same question, so I will say like simple, the definition were clear, pre-processing and post-processing. Next, you need to explain like this middleware follows the chain of responsibility design pattern. Chain of responsibility design pattern means I have the couple of classes. Each class passing to the next class to be executed. Okay, and we are having the so many different types of middleware. You need to be explained like two types. One is built-in middleware. Second one is the custom middleware. Built-in middleware is like logging, authentication, exception handling, authorization, routing, cars. So many middlewares are there. Next, you need to be talk about user-defined middleware. What are the user-defined middlewares? Tell me the types of user can define as a developer can create. User defined means not the user, developer defined middleware. So Microsoft, in point of the Microsoft, you are the user for it. Let me tell you the types. Inline middleware, terminal middleware, conventional middleware, factory based middleware. Okay, so today's session, don't expect in detailed. So this time is not permitted me. Those are in the normal session we're going to be discussed. All these things with the practical examples. Now let me create a factory based middleware with exception handling. Okay, so let me. So where I can able to create a middleware? Let me stop this application. Can I create the middleware inside of the program.cs file? Yes, you can able to create it, but it is violating the code lines are keep on increasing it. Nobody will not. So the simple responsibility of program.cs file, it having the single responsibility of these four to initiate. Let me create a middleware separate folder. So how to create and where to create? Go your application. Maybe these points, you can take the running now. Add folder middleware. Let me create class file. So in the interview, right, at least more than 2 minutes we need to be talk on that any topic. Okay, please be remember everyone. So give me some name. Can I say exception handler middleware? Okay. So in the factory based middleware, it is saying about you are having the I middleware, you can able to implement that one. Okay. So this is nothing but interface, right? Let me implement the implement interface. Okay. See, it is having the invoke async method. So in the conventional, you can able to go with the request handler delegate. So they by that one you can able to build it. So program.csv, let me go here. These are the middleware, right? Let me go. No, no, no. Sorry. Authorization. Where is my request delegate handler? That use. Let me go inside of it. So open source means I can able to see the code. Okay, that is what I'm telling here. Yes. So request delegate. If I want to create a custom middleware, I can use this request delegate type also. That is called conventional. Okay. So let us go with this factory based middleware. Okay. So I have implemented what I need to do. So I need to implement this one. So this is the place any exception is coming that will be come to here. So here I need to be write my code. Okay, it is having the HTTP context comma next. So what is the purpose of a context? Because the middleware is for the HTTP request process, it is going to be get the HTTP context object. It is having the request and response objects are inherited. In the request object, you can able to read out. So next is a request delegate. Every middleware should be say next. Okay, that is the reason it is given. So let me build a response. Any exception is handling coming. Instead of me to show that a code related error on the UI, let me give you some proper method. Status code. Let me say 500. 500 means we are having 100 to 200, 300, 400, 500. 500 for server related errors. Status code. Okay. So next one is what is that exception? You can give some anything exception dot ex or something. For example, you can get like exception exception. This exception also you can able to give. Okay, I'm simply giving as a internal server error. Okay, so let me give like some message. Exception. So I'm creating an object, right? This let me decorate with a new, then will become a object. So based on your requirement, you can able to modify this one 500. You can able to give exception.ex or message, whatever it is. So simply I'm creating an object. This object, let me pass it to the HTTP context. Okay, what we have discussed, see, we are building this exception handling, right? What this exception handling will do middleware. Middleware means pre-process and post-process also. In the post-processor, okay, in the post-processor, let me read and add on the response. Okay, how I can able to read the response? Already context is available. Context. So always remember, try to add all the task related methods or async methods. Task related methods are async method. If not async method, it will not execute means it will execute. Okay, so try to avoid runtime issues. I'm adding that one HTTP context dot response. See, response object I'm modifying it. So I can do the post processing. Response object modifying called post processing. Response dot write as JSON async. Let me pass this responsive. Okay. Only three parameters. No, you can able to do anything. Okay. That's not a restriction. Okay. So next, let me return true. Why it is still showing exception and does not implement? Okay. Request to delegate. Yeah, sorry. I'm talking in creating a middleware, right? So now I'm creating exception middleware. Na? Let me say I exception middleware. Okay. So my intention is if you want to create a normal middleware, you can able to create this one. Now I want to convert this one as exception middleware. Okay. So I just created normal middleware. Let me convert this one as a exception middleware. How to convert? Right? Exception, exception handler and interface. Try handle async. Let me pass everything from here to this. Okay. We are creating the just normal middleware. Here I need to create exception middleware. Okay. Let me convert this one as a async HTTP context, not response. Right? Okay. So here you have an exception, right? That exception, if you want, exception dot method also. Now let us see. Now I'm running the program, still in the program.cs file, I'm throwing an exception, right? Okay. For an application, how many exception handlers will be there? Only one, that is called a global exception handler. Now tell me, is that custom exception will come? The message which I have given that will be execute or something else? Still you will get the same issue. You can see some code. Why? Creation is done? No. You need to be register that exception handler service also. Until we are registering, it will not be work. How to register? Builder dot services dot add exception handler. What is your handler? Exception handler, exception handler middleware. Okay, so I have configured this one. Is it done? No. You need to add builder data. Any problems or issues are coming. Call is add problem details. So I have configured this service. Service configuration is done. Next, what I need to do? I need to be configure middleware app data use exception handler. So these are the simple three steps. Step number one, create a separate file. Step number two, add the service. Step number three, add this exception handler. Now execute it. Any exception is coming in my application, I'm running in the debug mode, right? So let me refresh. Okay, it will be come here because we're in the debug mode. I'm throwing now see because of the global exception, anywhere exception is handling. This is the reason. One more question. In my application, can I use a try and catch? No. While you are implementing the global exception handler, don't use the try and catch because if you are using a try and catch, that catch will catch your exception. This middleware will not fire. Because from that method you are not throwing exception, in that method itself you are internally handling the exception. Okay, so give that answer. So any question here?
Just one
Looks
confirmation
good.
required.
Sure, go ahead.
So post authorization, you added that exception handling middleware, right?
Yeah,
Any reason for that?
no,
And
no,
and
yeah, in general we have the exception, these middleware should be in a specific order because in the sessions we have seen, right, Viber, one middleware will go to the next. Okay, so better to add this exception handler at the top. First, authenticate, authorize, logging. Okay, caching. So there is a specific order of the middlewares to be added, right? So here That's fine. Here and there it is fine, but better to add the exception handler at a host. Middleware will be follow the order list. I will give the all the middleware's order list. Okay, Vaibhav?
Okay. But in general, can we say like exception handling middleware should be very first in the pipeline?
Yeah, because
It's
these
a
exception you should become any point of time.
correct. Yes.
What was the other question somebody asked me? Okay. For example, if this exception, if I adding just before the run, what will happen? Or after the run? After the run, if I have any line of the code, it will never execute. That already we have seen, right? Sorry. Okay, so that is the reason. These will be follow the chain of responsibility we should be. So where are we now? Now we have created the exception handler in a perfect way.